Good afternoon. My name is Tyrell Mares. I am the owner of Legacy Forest Management LLC in Monte Vista, Colorado. Today I wanted to make a video for informational purposes discussing the principles of wildfire mitigation, and that includes taking the steps you need in order to create a defensible space and in order to be fire-wise. So anyhow, so you have this diagram that is shown to be um, broken down into three zones, approximately. And this graphic was borrowed from firewise.org, so I do not own the intellectual property right to it. This is strictly for educational purposes only. So to start, you have a zone 1, which is 30 foot away from the structure. Then you have zone 2, which is, between, another 70 foot out, so to 100 foot from the structure. And then zone 3 is anything past 100 feet from a structure, from the main residential home. So within the first 30 feet, they recommend having the chimney cleaned and screened. They also want a 100-foot garden hose attached. They also recommend scattered trees that are within 30 feet of the structure. Ideally, you don't want a lot of trees next to the structure. Yeah, you definitely want them pruned and thinned. And species selection is really important. You would ideally want to shy away from coniferous trees such as pine, spruce, or juniper that are a lot more flammable than deciduous trees such as aspen or oak. When that's readily flammable. They also, so in this diagram, there's a recommended recommendation that firewood piles, fuel tanks, and other burnable materials are at least 30 feet away from structures, main homes. And then the same goes for storage shed, because a lot of us use storage sheds for storing power equipment such as lawnmowers, chainsaws, weed eaters, and since they tend to be gas powered, that's a combustible fuel source. They also recommend avoiding outdoor burning and then recycling as much as possible when it comes to mulch and compost. And then within zones 2 and 3, thinning and pruning coniferous trees, or just the trees in general, is the other recommendation. And then within 100 feet of the structure, grass and other herbaceous vegetation should be mowed in order to limit the spread of a potential wildfire. Driveway access is also really important because in the event of a wildland fire and wildland fire crews come in and try conduct structure protection on your home, you should have an adequate driveway so where they can be able to get in and out, and then also having clearly marked address numbers at the entrance of your driveway is also very key. With the structure protection, or the structure itself, avoiding burnable materials, trying, such as old shaker shingles and stuff on the roof, should be done. If you have a flammable roof, it is recommended that you replace it with a non-flammable roofing, such as metal or asphalt shingles. But segueing to kind of more of a vegetation approach, legacy forest management looks at the forestry side of wildfire mitigation when we specialize in vegetation management. And so we look at reducing the density of the surrounding forests and then close in to the home itself. We believe that having adequate spacing, as shown in this diagram, we feel that this is more of an adequate representation of what should be defined as a fire-wise home. We believe, so we like the idea of people who have irrigated lawns to maintain an irrigated green belt, because moisture, in lawns helps serve as a hedge against fire as it encroaches a home. Cleaning up pine needles and disposing of the slash and debris from any kind of fire mitigation activity is very important. You can thin, but if you don't do anything with the slash, your treatment's not going to be as effective. And then periodically trees lose their leaves, pine cones fall, keeping ahead of that and trying to keep that clean is, recommended, especially for areas like roof and gutters where they could potentially catch on fire. But anyhow, this should cover the main principles of wildfire mitigation. And to recap, remember zones 1, 2, and 3, and zones 1, 2, and 3 have different distances, where zone 1 is 30 feet within the home, zone 2 is 70 foot, from 30 foot to 100 foot from the home, and then zone 3 is anything past 100 feet. And I would like to also mention that although fire mitigation is very important, it's very important and it's better than doing nothing. The best treatments are when multiple adjacent properties implement project work together, because areas treated on a larger scale have a much better chance of withstanding wildfire. So I would like to thank you for watching this presentation today, and if you have any needs regarding wildfire mitigation within the San Luis Valley or the Southern Front Range of Colorado, feel free to give us a call. We are Legacy Forest Management LLC. We can be reached at 719-850-2095. We are also available on the web through Facebook. Our business page is Legacy Forest Management LLC, and if you would like to contact us further, we can also be reached at our email address, legacyforestco@gmail.com. Thank you.